So welcome to this edition. This is our first edition of the Monetize Your Talent series, and it's an amazing one. It's an amazing one because I have my brother here with me, Mr. Awa Ndukwe. Um, in a bit, I'm going to give him a sec to introduce himself and tell us all about himself before we kick off.
Hmm. Okay, hello everyone. Am I audible enough?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
yeah.
think yeah.
So my name is Awa Ndukwe, and where would I start from? I'm a businessman. I'm a brand strategist. I'm an AI solutions expert. I'm an investor. But before that, I'm a father, a mentor, a brother, and a friend to everyone. Let me use that word. I'm happy to be here, and Adele, thanks a lot. I thought I keep on pronouncing your name. Adele, great man.
But
Yeah.
I think you are a fan of the ADLA because it's easier to
Adele,
say
yeah.
great man, but you prefer ADLA, and I think
Yeah, we are
you're pronouncing it
Africans.
well actually.
You said what?
You're pronouncing it well.
Really?
Yeah,
Aha, okay, so Adele, yeah, so
yeah,
nice bringing me back to my brothers, the Nigerian community, the African community, and
yeah,
you are doing something amazing. And I promise you guys you're gonna learn from loads and loads of my experience.
yeah. That's amazing. I think for us to kick off, let me for us to kick off, like tell us about your background on LinkedIn, what made you open the app for the first time? And, let's start from there. Let's start from the beginning. Like, what was the first time you realized, LinkedIn could actually be like a source of income, like a source of opportunity for you?
I joined LinkedIn post 16, and all I had was my phone and
Hmm.
my pet dog, a Rottweiler. If you be following me, I love dogs a lot. So I had a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
Rotty, yeah, and my phone, an Infinix phone. Then we'll call it Palasa. It's a second-hand phone, right?
Okay.
And I couldn't get a job, but I know book. I know I was brilliant. I knew. I mean, I dusted my work, my job, and the rest. So, but the problem was getting a job, and I really envisioned myself doing so good in my career and all of that. And so I joined LinkedIn, not necessarily to do what I'm doing right now, but to sell snails. For
Okay.
those who don't know, snails, I'm a foodie. And all I had is my phone, my dog, and my snails to sell on LinkedIn. So when I came on LinkedIn 2016, that was the era where I saw a lot of people talking about different things, HR, yeah, this one. The LinkedIn was really scary, trust me. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to
Yeah,
talk about. I didn't know what to talk about. All I had to talk about was selling snails on LinkedIn, right? That was really, really weird
yeah.
because people are talking about, content writing, work, and I'm
Hmm.
bringing snails to sell. But the funniest thing is, in a space of 3, 4 months, I started selling my snails so well. I got hotels in Lagos to sell to. For those who can remember when I started, I started supplying to big hotels in Lounge 365, Greenpoint hotels, some hotels on the island. So the catch was, I was getting
Hmm.
snails from the bush, right?
Okay.
And I knew that taking the snails down to the island for those in Lagos, I could beat the price on the island. And if
Yeah,
I take it to
yeah.
hotels, the target on my target, in the hotel was the food and beverage managers. And the first time I took it to,
Hmm.
the first hotel I went to, imagine study sales in Lagos. Um, I couldn't imagine how much I made, because then I go to the market and just pick it up or sell it or buy it. Then I take it to the hotel to sell. And all my contacts were from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All of them were from LinkedIn. So I think that was when I realized,
Wow.
oh, if I could get 3, 4 hotels in a week from LinkedIn, right? Then I mean, I can do more on this platform. And that was how it started for me, through selling of snails. From snails, I started selling goat meat, cow meat, beef on the platform. That's how I started,
Wow. I
trust
think
me.
like it's very interesting. So you're using LinkedIn as a funnel. So I think I would like to know, yeah, what was the what was your strategy? Were you saying like coming to write posts on about snail, about
Okay.
yeah,
Uh, when I started, I was talking about snails, the health benefits of
mhm,
snails. I was talking about how snails are better than any other meats. I was talking about, you know, I was going into consultations. I was just preaching about how fun snails were. And
mhm,
that's where I got to meet the likes of Kenny Oladino and a whole lot of people. And trust me, on LinkedIn, there are people that actually love to eat snails. You understand? And
yeah,
the next thing is I went on Google, I started searching, and I realized, oh, okay, if I were to sell to hotels, then my target audience are the food and F&B managers in the hotel.
mhm,
If I were to sell to caterers, right, then I know that I have to meet them on the island. If I were to sell to
yeah,
lounges, I know that they needed medium snails. So I got to know after a
yeah,
while the size of snails, the type of snails, and the right people to sell to.
yeah.
So I think the thing people make mistake of is you tend to see or look down on what you do. But I was making stupid money in selling from selling snails.
Interesting.
Trust me, because everybody knew me with snails. Everybody. That was how I got to do a lot of stuff, and um, it was amazing. I just started from there and went up to what I started doing right now. So I went from snails into consultation. I had like 3 hotels that reached out to me that they wanted me to start teaching their staff how to preserve the snails. I went from there into teaching people how to go into snail farming. I went from there into
Wow.
building snail farms for people for private consumption and also commercial. Do you get the logic?
That's really amazing. I think when I came to LinkedIn, I'd never really thought of that. Like, I know I had at the time I joined LinkedIn, I still had my fashion business, but I think I
Oh,
never knew how to talk about it because when I joined LinkedIn, a lot of people were still talking about, there was the HRs, I
yeah, the
think there were more
HRs.
motivational people,
Yeah.
and then there was make money on LinkedIn guys, but there was no strategy. No, yeah,
Okay.
there was no strategy. Like you didn't know how to get, you know, you were just there. You didn't know how to increase your connections. You didn't know nothing. So
Yeah, the thing is, let me tell people something, and to where I am today. The first thing I did, and I want to teach people, there's life beyond LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is just a tool for you to
okay,
achieve what you want to achieve. It doesn't end on LinkedIn. The problem is people come on LinkedIn, I think it ends there. When I
okay,
started on LinkedIn, the first thing I did was I had to define what success meant for me. I already envisioned the kind of life I wanted to have, you know, and I knew I wanted to be financially free, even though
okay,
I had nothing. Good. And so uh, I knew LinkedIn, I saw that LinkedIn was more of distractions and wrong perceptions. So for those who are just studying branding, people say branding is all about building a perception. But what kind of perception?
can you build
The
it?
kind of exactly. So you can build a perception of uh, perception is about fulfilling promises over a consistent period of time. So by the time you do that, you start building trust. And at that point in time, you start becoming the expert in what you say you do. But the thing is, a lot of people build perceptions without foundation. So you build a perception and tell people, I'm going to make money. You can make money like this. Then when they come, there's no results. What happens after a period of time? You realize that
A lot of
you
people start to
fail.
churn. People don't now believe
Exactly. If
what
you
you're
notice
talking
it
about.
on LinkedIn, there've been generations of people. A lot of people have come and left
Yeah.
and come and left. I didn't want that. I wanted to build something solid. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be successful, right? So when I came on LinkedIn, I needed an irresistible offer. I knew
Okay.
nothing about AI. I knew nothing about digital, but I knew I had snails to sell. I know people will eat food. So I knew, okay, bring these snails to LinkedIn, target F&B managers and people with their location on the island. For those in Lagos, right? Beat it through price. I mean, when I was selling snails then, decided they call it Owo, 20 pieces. I was selling this for like, let me say 15K or something. But do you know that on the island, they were buying those same snails for 20 something K, 30 something K. So all I had to do was, back then I would travel all the way to Abiyakuta, Ojodo, Oja market. These were the major markets, major farm markets. So I would go there and buy the snails. I started building pens. I knew they were customers. I knew what I wanted. So after I got it with snails, I used the same template into going to where I am right now. So I said, if I could build a business on snails, then I can build a business on clients on LinkedIn. And the same process, what kind of clients do I want? I wanted clients in an economical, in an economy better than where I was, right? I wanted to go international. So I said, okay, this is what I did with my snails. So I'm going to help businesses build, start building. So I went back and learned about branding, and it was not the same template. Because the thing is, even when I joined LinkedIn, I wasn't into the whole content, blah, blah, blah. No. I wanted something real, something solid. Okay. And that was how I went from there into learning about business, into learning about sales now, into learning about how to build my audience. You remember when I started, when we met, I had a lot of crowd. I had lots of audience. I think my post there was going over 5 million
You were
views.
going viral back to back. I
Yeah,
think you were
over
doing more
5
videos.
million.
You were doing more videos.
Yeah, I was doing more videos. But the catch there was, after a while, I needed the money. I was already doing it with my snails. I already built a farm. I already had all of that, but I needed more ideally. And I knew that the quality of crowd matters more than the quantity. So the kind of people I had, the people that were buying snails from me, the kind of people I had, the people that actually needed or that were not financially capable to actually take me to where I want to be.
Okay.
Do you understand? So I had to sacrifice. I had to say, you know what? I don't want to go viral anymore, generally. But then I want to actually niche it down into meeting those people who can afford my services. So I switched it up a bit, right? Then my virality dropped, but the money rose. My virality dropped, but then I got niched. I got niched into the right crowd. So I miss my brothers, actually. Yeah. But then I had to do what I had to do. So I got into the other crowd, right? Which is the people who were my target audience.
With paying audience,
Yeah, the paying audience. And even though it dropped, I actually started getting connected more, right? And I think that was how it went for me, from snails to building brands, from building brands into AI, from AI into where I am today.
Wow. So I think I noticed, I also noticed this is beside the point. Like LinkedIn influencers grow in batches. Because I remember, you guys, from that time. And then I know like the new crop of people, I also knew the guys before this particular set of, people that are, all over the place and viral on LinkedIn. And I think, you said something very important. You prioritize like quality over the quantity of audience, because you can have like 50K, 100K, 70K, 30K, and you don't have money.
The money. And let me say
Because at the
one
end of
thing.
the day,
Yeah. So to chip in before I forget, what helped me on LinkedIn was the day I joined LinkedIn, I already had my retirement plan.
oh wow.
Okay. There's a lot of noise on LinkedIn. People say things like age isn't a factor. That's a lie. Let's be realistic. I mean, if age wasn't a factor, for those who watch football, Messi used to be playing like crazy. Ronaldo used to be playing like crazy, right? When I started LinkedIn, I was posting like crazy. I was having much engagement, but I don't have that same strength now like then. Do you understand?
You're a busy
So I
man now.
knew, so now I knew one day I was gonna retire, take it or leave it. But what is my retirement plan? Do you understand? What is my retirement plan? And how do I hit my retirement plan? So I started thinking of how to use LinkedIn as a tool. I also started thinking of, for people who don't know, people think I made it all on LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn was the start. But I had to start thinking of also
Moving them
lifestyle.
away.
Yeah, moving them away. Investments. A lot of
Okay.
people on LinkedIn thinks, oh, to hit financial freedom, you just have to just focus on LinkedIn. I mean, I tell people once, and I post twice a week. I ask myself, I have a family, I have things to do. Is it that you are you are so free that you post 21 times a week, 7 times a week? No. LinkedIn doesn't end in just posting. What worked for me is a lot of people don't connect, a lot of people don't network,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't send proposals. A lot of people just focus on posting, 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 posting. At a point in time, you become too aggressive. At a point in time, you start asking, what does this guy do apart from posting, 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 posting,
Posting.
posting?
Okay.
Do you even
Okay.
have a life offline? Do you
Yeah.
understand? So what I started doing was I started learning how to use Sales Lab. So in the sense that okay, I post, but apart from posting, I check who are the people that are checking my post. What kind of post am I putting out there? I focused on personality. In content, there are different structures to content writing. I'm
Yeah.
going back to we have entertainment, we have education, and we have
Mhm.
empowerment.
Yeah.
You see these three things, you have to balance it well. And know one thing, those who are going to spend the big bucks on you are looking at your personality.
True.
So if you come out and all you talk about is being, or you are just like every other
Performative
person,
content.
yeah, you
Be
understand.
consistent. Keep
You understand.
winning.
You get where I'm
Keep
coming from.
pushing. Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from. Or
Mhm.
there's something I'm seeing right now on LinkedIn. Sorry. You see everybody sounding alike.
Yes.
Do you understand? So the question
Yes.
is, so how are you repositioning yourself? You're not on LinkedIn to be for likes on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn to actually build a life. You will leave
You.
LinkedIn someday. So while you
Mhm.
are still here, what are you doing with LinkedIn? How are you using it?
Very important. And I think you said something that made a lot of sense, right? One, LinkedIn is a tool. Two, quality over quantity, and then you now um looked at, you're a husband, you're a father, you have a business to run. And I think this is, the direction that a lot of people don't really factor in. A lot of people post, one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 times a week. Some people post like twice a day, you know, and most people don't send messages. And the problem is because me, I'm speaking out most because I was most people for the most of the time. So yeah, this is. I said I'm going to be very practical because when I joined LinkedIn, that was what was raining.
Yeah.
They'll tell you make a post, comment strategically, you know, and all those advice. But nobody taught me outbound. You know,
Yeah.
reaching out to people. You know, having like a group of people that are your target audience, like literally having a plan. And that's, I think, 90% of people that come on LinkedIn come due to peer pressure. That's one. And others come without a plan. So why I say this is because, I've been in like corporate for a while. So now I understand, where I understand the place of strategy because you can just be doing a lot of things. And if you're just doing it, you're just touching a lot of places. You are not achieving like the core, like there's what we call the core KPI. There's
Yeah.
the main reason you are here, the main reason, you are doing this job, the main reason you are running this particular campaign, right? So it's all about strategy. A lot of people come to LinkedIn without strategy, you know, and strategy requires you to know, okay, like now, I like when you share your story, say you already knew the kind of people that were going to buy your snail. So when you
Yeah.
came in, you were already reaching out to them, you were already writing the kind of content that can attract them, right? So you were already positioned. It's not like someone is coming on LinkedIn to start searching snail farmer. So that's where the place of outbound, came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was easier for you to now scale that business because now your effort was matching your revenue,
I don't even do
right?
snail business anymore.
No, I know. I'm just,
I'm just
you
saying,
know,
yeah, I get
I'm
it.
coming from that point of view. Now, let's
Yeah,
say someone like myself, a content marketer, and I'm trying to position for more content roles. A lot of people just make the content, you know, go viral, make the posts, but they don't actually reach out to their target audience, like scheduling. And that's what I, learned, scheduling coffee chats, getting to know people. Like the reason we are talking is because I think I reached out to you one time. I'm like, hey, I like what you're doing on LinkedIn. And we talked one or two times, and here we are, right? And
true.
that's something I've learned to be doing actively, right? So it's a very key information a lot of people need to take home from this. So I think, what was one strategy or one skill that helped you scale? Now, what I mean is, because I'm talking of, from your snail business to acquiring clients and all of that. What was the talent
Yeah.
or what was the skill that you think that, helped you attract more people? Was it like your style of writing? Like, did you have to, take a course of copywriting? Like, what was it like for you?
I never took any course of copywriting, but thing is, I'm someone that I knew what I wanted.
Okay.
And because I knew what I wanted, I knew the kind of life I wanted. I knew those who were living that kind of life already. I studied them. So I'll use example. For everybody that don't know, I love Jay-Z a lot, right? For those who know music, one of the reasons why I liked him was he was someone that went from music
Business.
to business, from business to investments, right? And it started with what? Rap. So I knew, oh, okay, I cannot rap. I can start with snail, okay? And one thing he had was personality.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't know that. Your personality sells beyond your skills. If you have your skill and a bad personality, trust me, your skill will get into the door and you'll be kicked out.
Personality doesn't.
But
Personality keeps you.
yeah, your personality keeps you. So when I was into snails, first things first is I knew I wanted to be where I am today, and I'm still going to, going further. So I knew I would start with snails. Then when I start with snails, I will get the money from the snails. Then I will upscale and go into building brands using snails as a template. And from that, I will upskill again into AI, which is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And what sold me then, I was going so viral, then I switched it up a bit, was personality. Now, what people don't know is this, from my experience, before someone works with you, they want to know who you are. They want to know if you
Okay.
guys can align together. So
Your values.
yeah, your values, how you how easy it is for you to work, okay, your visions and all of that. So back then, a lot of people were talking about content, but I never talked about content. If you remember, I was
No,
always
I
talking
know.
about, yeah, I was always talking about, kindness, love,
Lifestyle,
personality,
kindness, voice for
lifestyle.
kindness.
Yes, yeah, voice
Voice
for
for
kindness has
kindness has
always
stayed,
been.
though. That hashtag has stayed.
Yeah. So the idea was people got to love me for who I was. I wasn't the
Ah,
one
yeah,
writing the whole
yeah,
content.
yeah.
So
You have a very
look
chill
at the
person.
trick. Every guy listening right now, let me tell you the trick. Everybody was doing content. Branding is all about what? Positioning. I didn't want to do content because everybody was doing content. So I had to take
Yeah.
myself out of it. So everybody was
Hmm.
doing content, but people knew me as that guy that had this set of values. So this set of values will make him employable, right?
Okay.
Number one, what are my set of values? Number one, humility. Let me let you know one thing. Those who will pay you money on LinkedIn don't like people that shout. If you're a noise maker, nobody wants to work with you. I am telling you. And
Okay.
so, if you remember, ideally, there's never been a time I've come on to tell you I earned this or I earned that or
No,
1
I
million
know, I
this.
know, I know.
Never, never. Because that is not my personality, right? You want to align with people. People have to trust you first. So the first thing I did wasn't to write about content. And I didn't see myself as a content creator. No, I saw myself as a business. So I
You're a
had to
businessman. That's why I
build,
said, like, your foundation is different from
you know,
When I
You
came on
understand?
LinkedIn, I was looking for work.
You understand?
Yeah,
I wasn't looking for work, right? So I started with the business. I started with the personality. That
yeah.
personality was what took me to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
were talking about content writing. And what happened? Content writing faced off. So people who couldn't talk about content writing anymore couldn't link up. And
Yeah.
they
Now it's
faded off.
AI.
That was
Now
the
it's
first
AI.
set. Yeah, now it's AI. Exactly. No, no, no. Is it now? Is it? That's not just AI. Now it's leadership posts. People that talk about leadership. Wait, when I go to my feed, I
Okay.
see lots of it. Leadership, la la la
No,
la
I
la
think it's
la.
because like your audience now, like people you're
Yeah,
around are
yeah.
mostly CMOs, like all these senior
CMOs,
leaders.
yeah,
That's
I know. But even as at that, what I'm trying to tell you is this: whenever there's so much noise, reposition yourself, take yourself out.
okay.
Because then, if you become part of that noise, then nothing makes you stand out. One of the things that will sell you on LinkedIn is building a personality that people can trust. And that was what I did the first time. And that was because I knew my target audience. Now, let me go business, a little bit of business.
Okay.
The first things first on LinkedIn, you need to have a product. A product could be whatever your services are. It
Okay.
needs to be something that is needed at the moment and that will scale up.
Mhm.
Okay. Number three, you need to have an irresistible offer. An irresistible offer. Number
Okay.
four, you need to have the right personality. Then you need to be able to position yourself, repositioning yourself. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about coming and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Another thing is your target audience, you need to know how they think. Everything about marketing and branding is psychology. So you
Yeah.
need to know that. So you need to know how to think. So, for example, if I want to sell to mothers of 3-year-olds, I need to go and know how to think. How do these women think? I need to be able to fine tune my content to be able to match that.
Yeah.
They need to see themselves in me. So a lot of people talk about content writing, but the truth is your content actually even valuable in the first place? Okay.
Okay.
Then number four, you need to be able to predict, know where the business is going, know where things are going.
Yeah.
I
And
knew right
pivot.
from time, yeah, I'm able to, yeah, exactly. And you should be a consistent learner, okay? And
I agree.
in all you do, shut up. In all you do,
True.
shut up, okay? Because this is one thing a lot of people back then were making mistakes on. You make $1,000, for example. You come online and shout about how you made $1,000. You know the funniest thing? That CFO that wanted to pay you $5K because you saw your brand like this, just saw
Now
how
he
cheap
just
you
caps it
are.
at the
Yeah, just saw how cheap
1,000.
you are. Exactly. And you know that $5K, trust me, it's still too small. So you shout on the
Yeah.
$5K, whenever you shout, you limit yourself.
You limit the level you can charge.
Exactly. You limit it. Now, the problem is a lot of people were focused on looking down. A lot of bragging, a lot of pride, all in the sense of trying to inspire. But then who are you inspiring?
Now the thing is,
Okay?
because me, I would always be an apologist for
Yeah.
this set of guys. The thing is, it is what sells at the time. And I think it still sells now. But it's I think people should be able to think long term. Like from what I'm understanding from what you're saying. People should be able to think long term and not just like in the moment, because whatever you're selling, even if you can't scale it, that means you're just going to be capped at that, charging
Can I
for
ask you a
that
question?
particular.
Can I ask you a
Hmm,
question?
yeah.
I told you something about the perception. Perception is about results, consistent over a
Exactly.
given period of time.
Mhm.
Adele, the people who changed my life on LinkedIn don't post every month, don't even post every day. They probably post once in 6 months. Trust me on that. They liked me and they reached out because of my personality.
Personality.
You understand? And when I got to that level, I started posting those twice a week too. Because I realized that LinkedIn is like in three different circles. You have the first circle, which is the market.
Yeah.
Then you go into the inner circle. Then you go into the last circle. You see that last circle, those who can actually give you the jobs,
The decision
right?
makers.
the decision makers, the CTOs, the CFOs, the CMOs, and all of that. They look beyond your content. They look at your personality. They look at how you position yourself, not the bragging. So, over the years, I've realized that what will sell for you on LinkedIn is your personality. Okay. And I still see a lot of people make that mistake today. Like you said, think long term. If your goal is wealth building, right, then you have to think long term, because what happens after you've done that class and you've lied and all of that, they won't come back. It kills your brand. It has happened. I've been on LinkedIn. I've seen generations of people do this. They
Yeah.
come out and lie about the whole thing. Then people go on. I mean, I will not tell you something that you won't get results from.
Okay.
But people do
Yeah.
that a lot. So you come, you get a little fees, and people go.
Yeah.
Marketing and branding is about what people say about you, not what you say about yourself. So if people come to your class and they don't get the right result, what do you think happens? They will say, oh, leave that guy. That guy just one of them. Remember,
Yeah.
your goal is a bit different. And I think that is what really worked for me at the end of the day. And that is why I'm
Yeah.
still here today.
That's why you're still here. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense because this was a challenge, and not just on LinkedIn, because there was the earlier set of people that when Facebook ad was a thing in Nigeria,
Yeah.
when people were building Facebook communities back then, building digital products, a lot of
Yeah.
people were selling chaff, and you use your hard-earned money, you buy a course thinking it will transform your life, and it actually doesn't. And you see a lot of people come to the comments to actually say this doesn't work, and then most people now reply you with you're not working hard enough.
Another
You
thing I would
know?
say, yeah, another thing I would say is, I think you need to look at your location too. What works in
Mhm.
what works in Colorado or New York will not work in Lagos State. So when you
Exactly.
see someone that comes from New York and gives a template, a business template, it's better you listen to someone that has done it in your own region. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So a lot of people
Yeah.
actually fly and go and actually get templates that worked in
They
New
listen
York.
to Grant Cardone and
Ex-
Gary V and these guys, and
exactly.
then try to
And then replicate it in our own. You get where I'm coming from.
in
So
this Nigerian market.
I'll say in the African market generally. So I think these are
Yeah.
those little mistakes, that we all make. But
Yeah.
LinkedIn, well, we will still go into that, probably into the steps
Yeah.
if you want us to teach.
No,
But
we'll go into
LinkedIn,
that.
yeah.
For
But
now. For
LinkedIn,
now.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But
For now.
LinkedIn, for everybody listening, just a call for everybody listening,
Okay.
LinkedIn was the best decision I made. I even met my wife on LinkedIn, you know that, right? Exactly. So that was the best win, actually.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's amazing. And and it's because you also have a good personality, and she has as well. So you guys were able to connect. Because you
Yeah,
guys won't be the first people to, meet on LinkedIn. So but there are a lot of people that meet and then you look and see that the values don't even align. And
sure,
yes, and
sure.
that's where we talk about the place of personality. So I think my question for you now is someone came to LinkedIn for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the steps in building a personality? Beyond just creating performative content, stay consistent, comments, post 4 to 5 times, like beyond all of those performance driven posts. How do you build personality on LinkedIn? Hours blueprint.
Well, the first thing you have to do is ask yourself why you even on LinkedIn. Number one. Number two,
Okay.
what is your retirement plan? I always say that from the beginning. Start from the end and take it backwards. Number three is what products? If your job, if you're LinkedIn to get a job, if you're LinkedIn to probably start a business or whatever, who is your target audience? Where is their location? What do they think? Or how do they think? What time are they on LinkedIn because of the different time zones,
Okay.
right? What are the keywords that attract them in your content? What is the news in their area? You need to start reading the news, they see. Okay,
Oh, interesting. So
you
how are you
understand?
able to use that? I'm trying to be as practical. How are you able to use like the news in the area? Is it like jumping on trends or reacting to the news?
Well, the truth is, you have to actually know where they are. Where do they spend their times? What platforms
Okay.
do they listen to? What radio platform do they listen to? You need to be able to understand their language. You understand?
Oh, I see.
Um, for example, I remember a client of mine telling me sometime that, oh, when I see content written by an Asian, I will know. I don't like that kind of content because it's not, they use the kind of English and the kind of words and the kind of tone and structure that does not align with my target audience. He is in the United States. Now, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So, what else again? Then also, you need to be able to show more of humanity and empathy. People want to work with people they can trust. People want to work with people that are easy to work with. So you need to make sure that you're not toxic. You need to make sure you talk more on, kindness, love. You need to show examples of when you actually, should I say, acted on these things.
Okay.
Also, in building a personality, LinkedIn is not just an educational platform. People make mistakes by coming to just educate, 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 educate. We're not a physics class, right? Sell your personality first. So you have to, like I said, your content should be a balance of educational, empowerment, and entertaining. So you can do it 30, 30, 60, depends on your audience, or 40, 40, 20. It depends, right? Always
Okay.
dance in between the lines. Don't be boring, be entertaining, be human. Most importantly, be human. Now, be consistent. Okay, consistent does not mean posting every day, every day, every day. It could be 3 times a week. For a start,
Yeah.
I can post twice a week because it's more like, of course. But then when you're starting, you can start with 3 times a week. Remember that your mental health matters too. And remember
Very
again that
good.
you don't want to sound too aggressive. I don't want to be too pushy.
Okay.
Give them the idea that you have something doing offline. Give them the idea that you
Okay.
actually have clients. That you actually have
Okay.
clients. Because then if you actually have clients, you won't be spending all your life on LinkedIn. Give them the idea that you have a
Okay.
family, right?
Okay.
Give them the
Yeah.
idea
Makes
that you are human. Yeah. Now be consistent with these things. Another thing again is in building that right personality, have a hashtag that let people know for something. Like you said, voice for kindness. People need it for
voice of
that.
kindness.
Yeah, that was what it was for me. Voice for kindness. And I always make sure, I put that hashtag in all my posts. Another thing
Yeah.
you need to do is this is hard but necessary. You see, the people LinkedIn show your content to most of the time are the people who will end up seeing your content most, the most, and it's like a funnel. It takes you into a room, of where your content is going to be. So if, for example, my target audience is in Brazil and I have lots of Nigerians on my posts, it will be so difficult. It's like going into a train and the train is taking me far away. You
Okay.
understand? Yeah.
Mhm.
So you need to be able to sell it back to the target audience. My target audience were let me say the international community. But when I started with snails, it was filled more with, the local community back home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't taking me to where I wanted to go. It got me the snails, the money for the snail. I wanted to go further
Yeah.
than that. So I had to do the hard thing, which is I had to tweak my content a bit. In tweaking my content was because I started thinking like my target audience.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Also, you need to be able to say no. At that point, I was getting people reaching out to me to promote their companies, to
Yeah.
promote their stuff, and they were mostly my people. I always call them my people, but I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I
Not
I
that
knew
bad.
where I was. Yeah, I knew where I was heading, right? So I
Yeah.
had to cut. I had to cut it.
Yeah.
So I knew for the people I want to work with, to actually want to work with me, they need to see people like them in my posts.
Okay.
Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
for example, ideally, you want to work with, let me say, Asians, or you want to work with the whites, or you want to work with wherever. When you see three people's posts on LinkedIn, you will align more with that one person who has a higher number of that certain set of people in that post,
Yeah.
right?
It's all about
Good.
perception.
Yeah, it's all about perception. So after a while of going viral for a long time, I needed to actually pivot. I knew my engagement was going to die. I knew it was going to happen. It was a sacrifice. It was hard. It was painful. I miss my people.
I can
And I'm
see here the pain in
happy.
your voice.
Yeah, I'm happy that you brought me back here today. But my people, I didn't do it because I was proud. I wasn't proud. But I
Yeah.
wanted to pivot. I wanted to connect with the other audience. It
Yeah.
was so difficult at the end, trust me. It's because you
Yeah.
now need to be able to go from here to be thinking like that. It's gonna kill your
Your
but
engagement.
the thing was ideally that was a blessing for me.
Yeah.
Shit, that was a blessing for me, bro. And will I do it again? I will. That was a blessing for me. But what it just means is you need to know why you're on LinkedIn. And it gets to a
Yeah.
point where you need to know, am I going for my dreams? Or should I be chained in the wrong perception? Should I be
Following the
chained,
trend.
in following the you're getting old. When I joined LinkedIn, I was in my 20s. So I could play around. But then as I started to get old, man, like I didn't I mean I needed stability.
You have to
Okay,
retire
so
fast.
yeah, I had to retire fast, trust me. So that was what really happened, you know. And I was saying this is how you also build your brand on LinkedIn. Know your target audience, know how they think, know how they write, know how they read, build a personality first. Any skill can be taught. Any skill can be taught,
Skill can be
but nobody
taught.
will work with you if you don't align with
Your value.
their values.
This makes so much sense. And I say it and I'll keep saying it. I wish someone told me earlier, but most of these things I had to like find out. I had to do a lot of hard work. Like, it
Yeah, I
was it was
understand.
it was it was very difficult, it was really difficult. And there was a time I actually left LinkedIn. Like I built the audience, like to a certain extent. Like I remember then I was like active, but I was like, this thing is not converting. And I
Do you
literally left
remember?
LinkedIn to go
Yeah,
find work. Like
I
literally.
understand. For those who don't
Literally.
know, do you remember how to lead YouTube?
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
okay.
that
So
was
for
my
context,
baby.
for those that because I know I have new audience here, for those that don't
Yeah,
understand our conversation, when we say back then, so Awa was one of the foundation guys that were viral on LinkedIn. Like back in when I joined LinkedIn, it was 2019, 2020, you know, he was all over the place. And there was the likes of, Mr. Fates,
Chinedu.
yeah, like these other guys, and they were like viral. Like these guys, make posts 500 likes, 1,000 plus, a lot of that. But we see a lot of influence has been diluted over time, right? But you've been able to sustain your influence for a long time, and you've been able to build a quality audience. And that's even why when we're having a conversation, like we have to have this masterclass, because a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people don't even have where to hear some of these things. And I'm happy that you're sharing this with us. So guys, if this is making a lot of sense to you, drop a comment letting us know which lesson that hits home, right? So, and this is very, very important. This is something that I always say, the reason I'm active now, it's not necessarily for myself because I feel I've done well for myself, is because I have younger ones, and these guys, I always try to mentor them. And I know that there are a lot of people that reach out to me, how did you do this? How did you do this? So now I'm trying to reach out to quality people in my network to come and share, the strategies that's helped them, so that we help the next generation as well. Some of the strategies you're sharing, I'm also like taking notes for myself. From our last call, there are some strategies I've even started implementing in my own codes, because it's important. Like
Yeah,
we have
sure,
to get
sure,
it. We
sure,
have to get it.
sure.
And for me, the most important thing is, if you're coming on LinkedIn, have a plan. Like, don't just come on LinkedIn because you attended, a LinkedIn masterclass and you listen to like the benefits of, LinkedIn and all of that. If you don't have a plan, you will be lost in the crowd. you'll be writing the same content, these other guys are writing. So it's very, very important to like have that plan, build that personality. I think I was doing that, but I didn't know I was doing it because I've had this hashtag since before I joined LinkedIn. So for background, I was an influencer on Instagram as far back as 2016. I built like 10K. But that time, people weren't monetizing, you know, Instagram. Nobody was doing it. So I had this hashtag that I liked. I'm someone that, I didn't really grow from so much. So I've been able to document my journey. I see my life as a movie. So for every challenge I overcome, I like to like talk about it. I like to, document it. Like I can accurately, share with my younger ones or like mentees around me what I've done because I live through the moments, through the good, through the bad. So I had this hashtag like speak greatness. I remember I said I was going to write my first book, like speak great when I hit my first million, you know. And I hit that million and it was small. I was like, no, 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 I have to do more. But the hashtag has been with me. So for me, I think that's my personality. Everyone I talk with, I always share my dream and this is what I'm all about. This is what I'm doing. I always say I want to hit that big milestone that I should be able to share with young people. And one of my goals was I didn't want to be like the rest. Like there are a lot of guys that, they share this fluff content and monetize it. And a lot of people are frustrated. Like that's the reason I could have just joined them because there was time I had like, the social proof, I did copywriting and my like my work. So I could have made a quick money, but my conscience won't allow me. That's they have most of my friends, they are here, they will tell you my conscience won't allow me, right? And that's why I say it's important to build that personality and have the strategy. That's why I like most of the things you're sharing now. Very, very, very important. So my next question is how do you balance shouting, on LinkedIn versus being consistent, creating valuable content? I'll give you an instance. Like for someone like myself, I have a lot of things I like to share. So me, I'm a yapper by personality. Like I like to have always been writing stories, about life, about what I'm doing, about, gym lifestyle, personal, like, you see my WhatsApp, like I always share about, what I'm doing. So how do you balance it with, building a strong persona, building, a strong person that's full of personality on LinkedIn, and not just like following the crowd?
Okay. How do you balance that? I'm going to share from my own, templates.
Yeah.
Um, when I started on LinkedIn, um, a lot of people, there's one thing in LinkedIn. It gets to a point and people lose themselves and they. I mean, I was asking myself like, why has LinkedIn or social media made people believe that 20 likes, 15 likes, 30 likes is not enough? I mean, imagine you're in this room, you're in a room and there are 30 people supporting you, like 30 people in real life supporting you,
Yeah.
like a room, even if it's a small church. That is powerful. Then imagine those 30 people at daily, five of them are C-level executives, the remaining four of them are in the government, and the remaining ones are actually, big time investors. So I got to that stage, because I wanted to pivot then. Now, this was my strategy. Come on LinkedIn, sell snails, make money, get a big job, get a big job. Because I always knew that wealth building was making money consistently every month over a given period of time. Then you now pivot into financial management. That talk about investments, crypto, and the rest, which are other, you know.
I know.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but I noticed that most people were just writing content, and these contents were like contract jobs. You get a content today, you don't get it tomorrow. You get a content next tomorrow, you don't get it next tomorrow. And everybody were content creators. Right. It became too noisy for me. It was like you go to Alaba and everybody's saying a Jane wear or selling a top.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started realizing that no, I didn't want to be a content creator. If I want to actually be stable, I need to have something solid. So I started targeting something bigger. How about our from Nigeria, you get a real-time job in the United States and grow your career from there. That was how I got to where I am today as executive director, right? And I don't need to write content next month. I'm actually now doing bigger projects, right? Last year, I got invited by Lagos State. I got a letter from the governor for AOT. Now I'm doing other big events offline,
Yeah.
right? But then, how did I move from the noise? Moving from the noises, when you're scrolling through the feed at the if you see the first post is how to write content, second post, how to write content, third post, how to write content. Everybody went to a master class using one template. What will you do? I guess you will flip through once you see something that is
Yeah.
different. This will not be content, so this might just balance, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to realize that in my time, everybody was content creator, selling a product, selling this, selling that. So I said, oh, so this is the time to reposition yourself. Like I said, the 5 P's of branding: positioning, your product, the price, right? And I can't remember the other two. But I just knew that if everybody are here and everybody's talking about the same thing, this is the time to build something different. When people remember you or talk about you, it is not as the mass, which is everybody talking about content, right? So I started thinking long term. So, like I said initially, I came on LinkedIn for snails part time. I knew who my target audience was. I knew when it was time to pivot that I moved again, right, into going into building businesses because I already had a template, right? Good.
Yeah.
I used this template of price because when I was selling snails, price,
Yeah.
good customer experience. Now
Mhm.
you have this black boy from Nigeria that is building brands for other people in the United States. Price, so it's going to be a cheaper way, but then better experience, a template that worked. Then from there, I also knew I wasn't going to stop there. I wanted to build a career. I needed a job, a full-time job that can feed
Mhm.
me, feed my family. I needed money. The job wasn't going to end there. The job was going to be a tool. Money for what? For the money market, financial market. That is investing, right? So from there, I
Mhm.
started investing. Okay. So I started thinking of assets. Now we talk about wealth building, assets, right?
This
And
is the
from there,
wealth building masterclass.
you understand where I'm coming from. So why everybody was
Yeah.
talking about content writing, I said, no, there's much more to me than a content writer. There's much more to me than that, you know. And it hurt me that I had to lose the crowd, but I'm very, very happy that I got what I wanted. Everything in life is a sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And I would say if you want to go off the nose, the best thing is I saw snails. Go back. What makes you different? What makes you different? You can sell anything on LinkedIn. The only reason why you can't sell it is if you've not done your job by studying, understanding your target audience, where the location is, where they are. Because you know the funniest thing out there, like, the easiest time to sell on LinkedIn is now. You know why? Because everybody's still doing the same thing. Everybody's talking about content. Everybody's still bragging. Everybody's still doing a massacre. Everybody's still doing that. But what is that one person who's going to build a house? Who's going to talk about agriculture? That one person is going to do something different. Will be the one that will stand out, just like I did that time, and start
Yeah.
building something solid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, I do.
So, I think people should start thinking long term. After this class, go back home and sit. Where do I want to be in the next 10 years? How do I want to retire from this platform? Then start building something towards it.
This makes a lot of sense. You've given us like a full flow, right? From from,
Yeah.
s- from selling the snail to getting like a high income job. because it's not just any job that you get that you would have enough money for the financial market, because the financial market, that one is a different topic on its own. You know, we
Yeah,
know what we're
yeah.
seeing there. So I can understand. I remember my brother said he's going to use he was making like, a certain amount, like under $100, and he's like, he's going to use it to enter the market and make, like I say, my brother, that money, you dash it. You are dashing them. So, looking at how you can get a high income job, like it requires, like you said, it requires that personality. It requires, you know, differentiating yourself from the crowd. And I think it brings me to the next question, like what were those challenges? I know that, you were sharing a certain type of content for a while, but to upscale what you were doing in line with your long-term plan, you had to pivot, right? So what were the challenges, building in each of those phases?
Okay, let me look the business behind LinkedIn. One thing about me is I've always looked at the business behind everything. If I don't understand the business behind it, I don't go into it. Right? If
Mhm.
I don't see the end, how I'm going to sign out, I don't go into it. So this is how the business on LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is a business,
Okay.
right? And LinkedIn needs some kinds of content for the platform to attract people, right? So as
Mhm.
you are indirectly working for LinkedIn because you are bringing people to LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, you're doing traffic.
So we have some kind of content that automatically we always do well. When you talk about kindness, you talk about leadership, you talk about work
Yeah,
culture, you talk about stuff like
yeah.
that. LinkedIn was this kind of content. But then you're only going to be stupid if you do that for a long time and you just start thinking about yourself. You didn't
Okay.
come on LinkedIn to promote LinkedIn. You came on LinkedIn to use LinkedIn as a tool to promote yourself and to get something and get out, right? So
Okay.
the problem was a lot of people didn't know when to stop and pivot.
Okay.
That was one thing. A lot of people didn't have the mind to say, "Oh, I'm getting 5 million views. Tomorrow I make this post, I'll get 1,000." Everybody will disappear. You need to be bold enough to actually put yourself first. Okay.
Okay.
Now, number two is a lot of people sadly don't market on LinkedIn. All they
How
do
do you?
is they make a post and wait for people to reach out to them. It used to work
Okay,
back
outreach.
then. Even the outreach is deeper than outreach. I'm gonna go there. So what a lot of people do is you make a post, right? And you expect people to reach out. You call it positioning. You build a perception and you expect people to reach out,
Okay.
right? But my question is, will like I said, everybody's dream is different. But if you are thinking far, my question is, will the CFO or the CTO of Microsoft or Genesis reach out to you because you made a kindness post, maybe a content writing post? I don't think so. And like I said, everybody has their different dreams. So how do you market on LinkedIn? You set a personality first. You let people know, oh, you can trust me. These are my values. Every company has values, right? The value proposition.
Yeah.
These are my values. This is what it is when you work with me. Your content is your voice. LinkedIn is a body. Your content is the voice, right? Now,
Okay.
your voice tells people who you are. It's either your voice is saying, come and buy my glasses, or your voice is actually saying, oh, I'm not talking about buying my glasses, but I'm going to tell you how it feels when you wear this glass. There are two different things. A lot of people
Okay.
keep on saying, come and buy my glasses, come and buy my glasses. I don't want to buy your glass. But then a few other people are saying, oh, this is how it feels, or this is what I put into this glass to make it different. Because I believe so much that my audience, they love to, my audience which are 55, when they look through these glasses, I don't want them to have headache. So I actually put a double frame. Actually did that. Nobody's doing this. Okay. Now, marketing on LinkedIn is this. How many people on LinkedIn I've taken out time to say, in this industry, I want to check out the C-level executives in these different companies in this industry. And when you check out these C-level executives, craft a hello, hi, what's up, whatever it is to these people. You start it to 10, maybe only 2 might reply. But the first thing they do is when they go to your profile, they want to check out who you are. Who is this guy? Understand who is this person? So when I was doing that voice for kindness, people didn't get the trick. The trick was I was talking about family. I was talking about, empathy. I was talking about
Yeah.
kindness. I was talking about being easy to work with. I was talking about things that had to go with mental health. I was talking about depression, but people were laughing. But what I was doing is the people I wanted to connect with were people that were too busy that this was the problem they were facing. So when they
Okay.
connected with me, we connected first. Ah, good. You go to the gym. Adele, I come to the gym. I see you. And I notice that you're married, right? And I say, Adele, I also got married 2 years ago. Guys, it's not really easy. Understand? You don't say we don't connect. We connect.
Yeah.
You connected on what? On a similarity, personality.
Yeah.
You tell me you love to gym. I'm like, oh yes, I love to gym, but it's tiring for me. I actually got injured, right? You tell me, oh, we've not talked business yet, Adele. You know the funniest thing? It might be the fourth time you not tell me, guy, what did they even they do? Say, I'm like, man, I they paint house or they do art. So like, hey, you love art. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
People don't connect with their target audience based on similarities. So that's why I said they are not marketing. You only make a post and disappear. But the truth is, go and create a list of who your target audience are. Check out who the decision makers are, right?
Okay.
Now, there was this team that I was mentoring for this event. That was last month. And they wanted to reach out to a particular company. And they were reaching out to the department that does what they do. And I told them that's the mistake people
Okay.
make. Go to the department higher, the decision makers, build a lead list of decision makers in the
Okay.
industry you want to connect with. You might not need them now, but start now. That will happen. Start building these people. At a point in time, what you have are CTO, CFO, see this, see that, see that, see that, see that. At a point in time, by the time you actually say, this is what I do, they could already tell you what they're looking for. Sometimes you think you know what their problem is. No, you don't know what their problem is. They don't want maybe content, they don't want graphics, they want something else, right? But the first thing to do is you connect with them. Connect with them on something
Building
that is,
relationship.
yeah, on something that's irresistible. They are a father, I am a father. They have a son, you have a son. They love to go to the gym, you love to go to the gym. They are foodies, you are foodie. Connect with them on something else, then take it back. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. For example, I see people
I
reach out
get,
to me.
I get where you're coming from.
You know, so I see people reach out to me and tell me, boss, or I need I need remote work. Why would I give you remote work? Who are you? No, I'm serious.
Yeah, you
But
don't know
then
them.
yes, there's someone reaches out to me and say, I'm a boss, I love your dreads. That I love your dreads. Check out this picture. Oh my guy, I love dreads. I'll actually connect it to you. I'm like, I must see dreads. I'll even call my wife. I must see this guy has dreads, right? The next thing, I'm a
Yeah.
boss. We start talking on dreads. 3 weeks later, I might even ask this guy, guy, what's up? What do you actually do? He tell me, I'm a graphic designer or I'm into AI, but things are tough for me. I'm like, man, okay, you know what? I'll see what I can do. People have forgotten to build relationships on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a social media platform first. We are human
Yeah.
beings first, not AI.
We're
Or
human beings first.
you understand? We're human beings first. So understand your audience, know how to think, connect with them on something else. That's why you have to do your research, do your job on something else other than what you sell or what you do. Let me bust your head. There's this particular man on LinkedIn. I don't know if I can mention his name. Oh no, but it's one of the top shots offline.
Mhm.
When I joined LinkedIn, he did a dinner. He had this dinner back then where he said, free dinner for youths. Come and see youths rushing this guy. You understand? And me, then I was just starting. What I was saying was snails. Adele, snails made me meet people in Nigeria. Snails took me to houses that I never believed I would actually enter. Do you understand? This man finally reached out to
Yeah.
me. To do what? To teach his mom how to raise snails and how to build a pen for her in their home.
Mm.
I wasn't the one that reached out to him. Me and this man, we are friends till today. We connected on what? Food. He's a foodie. I'm a foodie. We talk
Wow.
about food.
I should be posting because I was thinking, because you know me, I work out a lot, and I always feel like some of my personal content is just for like my WhatsApp guys. I don't want to come
Mhm.
and you post something on LinkedIn, and people will be like, take it to Facebook. This is not Facebook. There was a time
They
people
were
were
they were
saying
attacking
stuff
me
like that.
too. Yeah, they were attacking me to take it to face, take it to face, take it to Facebook. But the funniest thing,
Yeah.
those content brought my wife. She's one of the most beautiful women on LinkedIn. Those content brought all
Wow.
my clients. Those content took me every. Those content made me a friend first to
Yeah.
everybody. Even before people started
Yeah,
asking me
I always say
what's
like
what.
a perception I had about your brand is this guy is just chill. Like anybody that reads your content, then and now, you just read and be like, this guy is a chill guy.
You don't just
Like
get
it's just
wahala.
like you reflect some sort of calm, in the
Yeah,
noise.
that
When you
was
read
it.
it, you wake up, you always talk about the leaves. I'm like,
Yeah, you follow
what's
my
up with?
WhatsApp, right? Yeah, if you check out my
Yeah,
WhatsApp,
I
for those that
follow a lot of
yeah,
your content. Me, I'm
yeah,
your big fan. Oh.
my WhatsApp, you see, I go to my garden, trees, I
Yeah, you
plant,
just take a picture.
farm.
I'm like, wow.
Should I bust ahead? Do you know how many of my target audience
Hmm.
love nature? You know my target audience, bro. How many of them love nature? How many of them love
Yeah.
artwork? How many of them have invited me just because of nature? Do you understand? So people have forgotten to be
Wow.
humans first. So think about how does the target audience think? What are the things they love? Go there first, then take it back.
Mhm.
Then it becomes easy. I have never
Guys,
applied
I'm
for a
going to
job
start
on LinkedIn.
sharing about my gym lifestyle.
You understand? So that
No,
is
this
it.
is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. It's really, really amazing. What are like some of the I know you've shared this, but let's
Yeah.
just make it more structured. What are some of the mistakes, or time wasting activities you see that you did earlier on, you know, that you would tell young people that are on LinkedIn right now to avoid? I know you've mentioned some of them, but let's just, have them again so that
Yeah, the first things first
uh,
was I was chasing the likes. When I was hitting 5 million views, 10 million views, I went to break everywhere. So I was chasing it badly.
you were hitting those
Um,
views.
I
No,
was
no,
chasing,
like
I was chasing them
45K
badly.
likes
Yeah, you remember like the time I had over a
on
hundred
one
k,
video.
like
I was like,
it was
what's
always
going
going.
on?
Yeah, yeah. But you see the thing, I was doing those things, but I was kind of broke.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, I
kind
can
of broke,
understand.
and at a point, it became difficult to come back. I already followed the
Okay.
train all the way. It became difficult to come back. I had to now
Mhm.
like, how do I now start rebranding again? How do I now start changing? As I said, I'd already gone too far. And I can open another LinkedIn account now. So you understand. So
No,
that
I
was
get
one
you.
mistake. Number two mistake is like I said, I spend more time posting than connecting. I forgot that there are other features on LinkedIn other than posts. There are other things. There's connections, there's network, there's sales nav, there's this, but everybody was focusing on posting, posting, posting. Number three, I would say is I couldn't say no to brands that wanted me to help them initially. They wanted me to help them make a post because of 50K, 70K they were meant to pay me that time. But the thing is,
Yeah.
the people I wanted to reach out to, when they come to my profile, and see the things I was doing. That wasn't what it didn't tally, you know. Also another
What do you
mistake I
want
think,
to?
yeah, another mistake I think I made on LinkedIn was for every tag I replied. I'm going to explain that. Everybody tagged and tagged me, and I felt I had to reply. It was a must to reply. But what happened is when you tagged me and I reply, it was taking me further away into the people I wanted to connect with. So
Okay.
I had to be strong to say, our if this person tags you, you are not obliged to reply. It is your time, it is your energy.
Mhm.
I had to say, our um the likes and the comments, even if it's 50 likes, you are okay. What matters is the quality of the 50 likes. I had to say, our now you need to leave from content writing into upskilling into what a business. Content writing, you just write content and it ends. But I wanted a life where I didn't need to spend hours writing content. Then we didn't have AI or ChatGPT, so you go write the thing from head, and that was taking time, you know. So I started
Very
understanding
long
that,
post.
yeah, I started understanding that you can spend less time on a particular gig and earn more
Mm-hmm.
than spending more time on another gig. I started working on leverage, right? So leverage for me
Okay.
became, instead of you spending 5 hours writing content, you can actually do three different jobs in less than 5 hours and get a better output, right? So um
Okay.
these were some mistakes I know I was making. I would say generally being in the wrong circle, or because of the temporary feel of going viral. The more viral you go among the wrong circle, the more deeper and away you're going for your target audience. So that is just how it works. So, for example, ideally, if your target audience are, let's say, CFOs from Las Vegas, right? And you make a post and you get 500 people from Asia or from Cameroon, what happens is the more you make that post and
Yeah.
go viral, the more it's taking you far away from LA.
Okay.
Do you understand? So for me, it
Yeah.
became difficult to retrace my step. So I had to kill a lot of things and come back so I can go to LA. Do you
Okay.
understand? So you have to be
Yeah.
mentally strong. You have to not follow the crowd. You have to know what you want. You need to have a vision of where you want to be. Then you need to be able to. This is what people
Mhm.
make mistakes on social media. The people I follow now don't even have engagement. Funny enough, they don't even have. They post maybe like 50, 30 likes. But the people I want to be like, because offline they're making the big bucks. Then I
Yeah.
started
They built
understanding, like,
a life. They built systems.
yes, yes. So I started understanding that the people I wanted to be like, there's a difference between content creator and business. There's a difference between
Hmm.
noise and funnels. There's a difference between noise and systems. As I started aging, when I crossed 30, and I knew, oh boy, I don't the old. I had to switch. So that was just
Okay.
it.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing this. Guys, we're almost at the end of this session. Is there any question you want to ask Mr. Awa? Put it in the comments, and I'll be bringing them up to have him answer some of this. So, Mr. Awa, thank you so much, because some of the things you share with me, I resonate with them deeply, because me, when I came on LinkedIn, it frustrated me at first, but I'm not the kind of person that just gives up like that. I must find a way. Like the same way I reached out to you, I reached out to, like, I think I would remember I was talking with Mr. Fitz, like, back to back, you know, and I was still getting like one like, I was still getting like two likes. I didn't know the structure of how to write on LinkedIn. Before I used to jam pack everything in one. You know how the earliest people used to write?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
no
yeah.
paragraph, nothing. Just write it line, 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 and paste it. Right? But I think I like what I have built over time is I have this personality. I just have to see it to the end, you know. Like this thing must work. If it works for that, there's something here, you know, that must work for me. And some of these things you shared, you know, it was trial and error for me. You know, most of the people I'd reach out to, I always share it. I didn't get my work, the current job I do, off LinkedIn, but the person was a LinkedIn connection. You know, we connected around offline events, and you know, and we're talking, and it's still one of my status. You know, I'm always, you know, people on LinkedIn think I'm a very serious person. You know, when they meet me, you know, at events, they're like, oh, like on my status, I'm always, you know, I just do some goofy things, you know, and we just got talking, you know, broke the ice, and then the lady found out that, you know, oh, you're from here. I think I shared about my village, and she's like, oh, she's actually from, you know, the neighboring village. And just like that, oh, and I thought, okay, I'm trying to learn digital marketing. And she took me on, you know, mentored me. And in, I think a company reached out to her, and she was not, like, she was looking for clients and not working a full time role. She had like an agency she was running. And then she just said to me, oh, do you want to? There are these people that reach out. Are you looking for a job? I'm like, yeah. She just said, send CV. That was how I got my job. Like it's the place of networking. And you know, a lot of people think it's, you know, oh, nice to connect with you. What project are you working on right now? No, no. Like make it more personalized, you know, more free. Like talk
Yeah.
about it's something I've learned now because now I'm able to just network people, like talk with people. Like I don't know whether I would say the pressure of, you know, not looking for work has worn off. So now I can
Yeah,
just talk with you.
yeah. Let me
Like,
chip in
if you don't want to
something.
connect with me, no problem. You know,
Let me
you
chip in
think
something to help people connect, right? Now
yeah.
let me tell you something people don't know, which most of my clients, most of if I what I learned from people who
Yeah.
have actually you know mentored or taught me in the business climate.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to connect, there are laws of attraction.
Okay.
Good. And I want people to know, think of the psychological part, look at the business angle.